Is Israel combat ready? Here's what the Israeli defense minister has to say.
Anyone who now sees Gaza from a distance will see it from the inside. I promise you.
This was Gallant's promise to the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, that they will see Gaza from inside. In other words, a ground operation is happening.
There is no forgiveness for this thing. Only total annihilation of Hamas organization, terror infrastructures. It will take a week, it will take a month, it will take 2 months until we eliminate them.
This is not the first time Israeli officials are vowing to annihilate the Hamas. The entire Gaza Strip is under siege, the enclave is being bombarded, and it looks like the IDF is on its last leg of preparation for a ground offensive. Tanks have been amassed, so have troops. More than 300,000 reservists have been called in. There are more than 150,000 active forces. But questions remain. 1. While Israel's air prowess is unquestionable, its ground troops are mostly made up of conscripts. And now you have reservists. Analysts cite that this is a disadvantage. The IDF will be up against Hamas operatives who are training regularly, also possibly highly trained Hezbollah fighters. Here's something else analysts claim. Israel's force spends more time policing territories than rehearsing combined arms operations. Another question, how well do IDF ground troops know Gaza's urban terrain? Because let's face it, a ground operation is likely to be messy. The IDF needs to be prepared for a whole range of tactics that Hamas is likely to use. 1. Positioning snipers in the windows of apartment blocks. 2. Using tripwires to set off IEDs. 3. Hamas is also likely to attack Israeli armored vehicles with grenades. 4. The IDF needs to be prepared for Hamas disguising fighters as ordinary civilians. So what's the guarantee that Hamas has already not moved fighters to the south of Gaza? 5. The IDF's biggest challenge will be the Gaza metro. In other words, Hamas's tunnel network. Chances are that's where Hamas operatives would have set up their base. We told you this at length yesterday. This tunnel network reportedly runs over 450 kilometers. It's in the depth of around 230 feet. Hamas uses this network of tunnels to move around its operatives and arms. The challenge before the IDF would be to locate its points of entry. Is Israel ready for this? Here's what the IDF has to say.
The army continues to prepare for the next stage of the war, the maneuver. The forces are in the field, training, organizing, studying, researching, studying everything that has happened in the fighting so far and the lessons they must learn.
Now, to understand Israel's strategy in this war, I earlier spoke to Chaim Mailspin, a sergeant major in the IDF. I spoke to him at length about Israel's possible ground offensive. I also asked him how Israel plans to save the hostages. Listen in to this exclusive. Joining me today on Gravitas is Chaim Mailspin. He's a sergeant major at the Israel Defense Forces. Thanks for joining us. Now, my first question for you, when do you believe a ground offensive would happen? What's the purpose behind this ground offensive, really?
I cannot say anything about when, but I do know that our job is to rescue hostages. We need to be able to rescue hostages and bring them in, and also to dismantle the Hamas terrorist organization and remove the threat, restore security to our borders. And that is what we're going to do.
Do you expect hostages to be held in the tunnels as well?
Absolutely. Hostages are held in lots of places. For sure, it's believed that in the tunnels would be one of the main places. This is a very hard to do mission. It's very convoluted, complicated, and it's going to take a lot of strategy and a lot of this mission is, of course, very, very complicated, convoluted. It's going to take precision, and it's going to take professional skill, and it's going to take some time. But yes, we will achieve the objective, which is rescuing hostages and dismantling this terror group, this threat to the security of the region and our borders.
A big concern for the world. Do you expect Hezbollah to join this war from Lebanon?
we are prepared for all circumstances. We believe that they got the message loud and clear that it's very unwise to do so. We hope that they will listen and not make this a multi-front war. And that's what I can say about that.
Thank you, Major, for speaking to us on Gravitas. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.